It was a fun night, just a regular Saturday Latin night. Everyone that you usually see out is there. It's around 1:50 and it's time to go. I call the Uber on my phone, and it literally says 3 minutes away. So as I'm waiting, that's when you hear the first two gunshots. And they were so loud that you definitely could separate it from what was music and what was a gunshot. At that moment in time, I just automatically dropped to the floor. Everyone kind of did the same thing. They all just dropped to the floor and were like, holy moly, like this is really happening. At that moment in time, I couldn't think that it was as grand as it was going to turn out to be. I thought it was just a regular beef between two club patrons or something. So we're still kneeling down thinking that it's going to stop, and then we hear like 5 or 8 gunshots more, and we like do a military crawl over to the bathroom, and we hide inside of the stall. Inside the stall there was like about already like 20 people, and then 10 more came with us. The stall was so packed that you literally had no place to just personally stand by yourself. Everyone was like crunched on top of each other, just huddling, basically like just huddling and fearing their life. As the gunshots got closer, I'm just praying and hoping that this isn't the last moments on earth for me. And I tried calling 911 and it wouldn't go through. Then I call my mother, because I'm like, if this is it, I need to speak to my family. So I call my mom, and the service is iffy in the bathroom, I guess, so she didn't hear me. I mean, I couldn't hear her, but she could hear me. I'm like, Mom, 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 and then the call just dropped. So at that moment in time, a young man is stumbling into the bathroom. We think it's the assailant, and we see that it's not, because he like slammed into the door and just drops. And he's facing down, and he's bleeding a lot. And he's trying to get into the stall, but it's so packed that we couldn't open the door. And I'm trying to pull him from underneath, and he was in too much pain. And the people inside the stall are like, please be quiet, please be quiet. Like everyone's just fearing for their own life. So I tell him the same thing, please, I understand what you're going through, just be quiet, he might not find us. And I just tell him, look me in the eye and just listen to my voice and it'll be all right, just calm down. And he just looks me in the eye and goes, man, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. He repeated it twice, and in my head everything plays so slow, but this was like milliseconds going by. He said that, and as he says that, you hear the gun being reloaded and the shells dropping as he's getting closer. He makes his way into the bathroom. I don't see it because at this point my back is facing the door, the bathroom door, and we're all huddled together. And I just hear one solid gunshot, and you see the boy just completely, like you saw the life just leave him. At that point, he starts shooting at the stall, just firing at free will. Without a doubt, just firing. That's when I got my first wound, which was an entrance and an exit wound. I immediately, my leg just got really hot. It felt like a giant bruise, but like it felt like my leg was just chopped off, but it was still there. I didn't react to blood or anything because I didn't really see. I was more paying attention to the people who were around me. I look, and the girl that was next to me, she was no longer responsive. She was chest down on the floor on top of other people. People are like trying to move their legs, freaking out because she's not responsive. At that moment in time, I call my dad because my mom's phone dropped. So I'm like, maybe I could call Dad. I call Dad. He answers, and he's frantic. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? All I'm able to get out is, Dad, I've been shot. He shot me. And the call drops. And my heart dropped. I'm like, this was the last time that I'm going to hear their voices. People are begging him not to shoot. They're yelling at him, please don't shoot, just spare our lives. Like, we didn't see your face, we don't know who you are, we haven't heard your voice. All I heard was a laugh when he shot the boy before he shot the stall. He laughed like an evil laugh. Like something that's just going to be imprinted in my head forever. I can go to sleep, close my eyes, and That's literally the first thing I can hear is bullets hitting the floor, the gun being reloaded, and that laugh. A laugh of like, ha, like I did it. I'm getting rid of all of you. So then I guess it enticed him to shoot more. I was screaming and begging, and he put his hand over the stall. That's when I was able to see that he was a tan person, and I was able to see the smaller gun that he did use first. And then he just started shooting. At that point I turned like this to like try to get away from the front where the gun was, but it was too late and it had hit me on this side. And it was another entrance and exit wound. Then I guess just the screaming died down and everyone either fainted or was no longer responsive, and it was almost like everyone agreed to play dead. Like everyone just dropped and stopped making noise. And I just feel like that fooled him kind of, because the cops, he could hear them coming and us not making any more noise. He was like, all right, I'm done here. And he left. He went to the opposite side. At that point, I could hear the guns going off on the opposite side, and I could hear the cops now. They weren't in our area yet, but I could hear them. And I started telling them, guys, there's police here. Let's get out. We can make it. And everyone's like, no, you're crazy. Like, there was people that were genuinely mad at me for even speaking and being loud. And I'm like, I literally looked at everyone. I was the only person standing up, and I looked at them and I said, if we do not leave here, we're all gonna die. And everyone was like, if you go out there, you're gonna die. And that's when adrenaline just shot through my body. I had both sides shot, and I honestly didn't feel it anymore. Just having to escape the way I did is still traumatizing. It's all traumatizing, but there was bodies covering the entrance and exit of the stall. I had to step on a body to escape. The last image that I see of the bathroom is my bloody footprint on someone's pants that wasn't responsive anymore. I climbed on top of the sink and I grabbed the top of the wall, the stall wall, the ones that block everything. And there's like a gap like this big, and I just pulled myself over, and I remember I just let myself fall, which hurt even more. And then I hear guns, so I hide. I grab like this cabinet type thing that they had, or a trash can. I don't even really remember what it was, but it was something big. I grab it and I hide in the corner, and I hear someone yelling my name in the stall. They're like, Norman, Norman, Norman. And I'm like, I'm fine, let's go. And even then, no one reacted. So I poked my head out really quick, because at that point I could see flashlights. I guess they thought he was still in that area, because it was dark. They never got to turn the lights on. None of that ever got to happen. So I poked my head out, and the police actually shot at me with an AR-15, like an actual rifle. And it might be the fact that I was going through it, or I might not be exaggerating, but I heard it and felt it, and it hit the wall, and the debris hit, and I went back in, and that just made me lose it. I started crying and yelling, I'm a victim, please, I'm hurt, I'm injured, I've been shot twice. And that's when you heard the cop kind of tone it down, and he shined the light, and he's like, if you're a victim, come out with your hands in the air and hurry, because the guy's still in the building. I put my hands out like this, and I'm just waving them, and I come out, and he's like, hurry, hurry, hurry. They all grab me, and we start walking. We run out the exit, and they escort me to behind a SUV type thing, and they lay me down. And at that point, the adrenaline just started going away, and the pain started hitting. And there was a girl that like I said, I called her my guardian angel. I'd never met her. I didn't even get a last name. I sat down, and she was with her family, and she's like, he's been shot. And I could hear the parents like, who? And it's like, this man, he's been shot. Like, I need to help him. I can't leave his side. And that's exactly what she did. She did not leave my side until I got on that ambulance. At one point, I was losing so much blood that I was dizzy, and I was falling asleep. And the cop was like, you weren't falling asleep. You were letting yourself go. They told me this later on. I remember I laid down on her lap, and I just put my head back, and it felt amazing. I was calm. I had no pain. I was just like, oh, I'm good. I'm not hurt. I'm good. I can just wait. He's like, are you good there? And I'm like, yeah. And I closed my eyes. Next thing I know, a paramedic, a cop. They're moving my face. They're like, you can't close your eyes. Don't let him close his eyes. Don't close his eyes. They poured water on me. Like, they did their best to get me back into panic mode because, like they said, they would rather have me panic than just let myself completely go.